Ringo TV Reactions back at you again with another one. Make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe. Let's get down to business. So, we're talking about TaKiya Young. Interesting. News is circulating right now that this particular young lady was gunned down, that's right, by officers. Because, now hear this, because she didn't want to follow orders. Isn't that amazing? She didn't want to follow orders, so police decided to take her out. I don't think I put an avatar for this video. I mean, a thumbnail. I'm not sure if I did or not. I may have to do that after the stream. But, oh, I didn't. Let me see if I can find one. Anyways, you come in, be sure to click the like button one time. Do what you need to do. Okay, there we go. That's much better. All right, so we're talking about TaKiya Young, who died young, and it's all because she didn't want to follow orders. She was accused of possible theft in a store. Police proceed to approach the vehicle. Told her, ma'am, step out the vehicle. Why? Because there's an investigation. People pointed out that they saw you. Okay. If TaKiya know that she didn't do anything wrong, the best course of action would be to cooperate with law enforcement to just get the situation dealt with. If I know I did not steal anything, and if I know that I am pregnant with a child, and cops are at my door, and they're saying, just step out. Why would this woman, why would she give the police back talk? I didn't do nothing. It wasn't me, it was some other girls. Man, step outside the vehicle. But no, she don't do that. She decides to make the officers have a difficult time. She decided to protest that she's innocent. She even said at one point, "You're gonna shoot me?" So you had one officer on the driver's side, you had another officer that went in the front of the vehicle. Now, as a so-called black man, I've seen so many countless stories of police activity. And one thing I've learned is that when a police officer steps in front of your vehicle, right, they're looking for a reaction from you so that they can be justified in killing you. You got to understand the game. See, if this young lady actually had a husband, you know, a man, this situation would have never happened. So in my humble opinion, she signed for the package. You could get upset, then that's your problem. In this particular case, she signed for the package. Because when an officer is in front of your vehicle and you proceed to turn the steering wheel and step on the gas while the officer is holding a gun, you're basically asking to die. So I'm trying to figure out, why is everybody on social media crying? I'm trying to figure out why is everybody on social media saying we need justice. Justice for what? Justice for what? What justice? She didn't comply. Something as simple as comply. And so we talk about this all the time on the platform and how today's modern woman, she don't listen. She don't follow orders. Defiant, argumentative, don't know how to just follow instructions. All the officer said was step outside the vehicle. That's all she had to do. All she had to do is step outside the vehicle and let the officers proceed with their investigation. If you know you didn't take anything, if you know you didn't do anything, you don't got nothing to worry about, right or wrong. Maybe I'm wrong, right? I'm wrong because I know if I didn't steal nothing and the officers come by the side of the window, hey, yo, what up? I roll down the window. What's going on? Oh, they said that, it was a robbery in there. They said you stole something. We're going to need for you to step out the car. Okay, officer, no problem. Turn the car off. Boom, boom, boom. Step outside the car. Okay, have that little conversation. Because as a black man, I understand not only the laws, but I also understand the setup. See, when you sit in your car and you're arguing with the cops, what you're basically saying is, I stole something. Because for all we know, she could be the getaway driver. And the people saw her too. The other women may have fled, but she may be the getaway driver. Now, I don't know if she is or not. I'm not accusing her. But my point is, if you know you didn't do nothing and the officers tell you to step outside the car, all you had to do is just comply. But because of the attitude, because of the rebellion of authority, because most of these women do not serve God, it's very easy for them to rebel against any authority. I mean, think about this. If a woman is not submitted to God and his authority, and she rebels against that, then it's very easy for her to rebel against anything. I mean, if law enforcement is giving you an order, it's not like they're telling you to do something that is unethical. They're just saying, step outside the vehicle, meaning the vehicle is on. We're trying to run our investigation. You were accused. We see you. It don't make no sense you try to flee. Turn the car off. Step outside the vehicle. That's all she had to do. She would have went home, would have been good to go. Now, again, I'm not too fond of police. I'm not. But in this case right here, I can't really find anything. I looked at the video, the raw video, the uncut video, and I didn't find anything. Now, some may say, but why the officer got in front of the vehicle and got on the hood of the car? Well, he wasn't on the hood of the car until she started to drive off. I told you, when officers stand in front of your vehicle, they're setting you up so that they can kill you. If you're a black person, you're supposed to know that. See, if a man was in the car, the man would have told her, turn the car off. Get your damn hand off that steering wheel. That's why when you get stopped by the police, they say, keep your hands still. See, when you moving, you making officers nervous. You know? In this particular case, she paid with her life. And she didn't even think about her child. Because she's pregnant. But she was selfish. And everybody online is crying about this. I'm not. I'm not crying at all. Because I'm looking at the circumstances and it's very evident and clear. She did not follow instructions. She used her car as a weapon. And people are saying, oh, she didn't do that. She wasn't really trying to. Fam, an officer is holding a loaded gun. Look, you feel how that feel? When I point my finger like that? Now imagine a gun and you're looking down the barrel and you pregnant. And you got your hand on the steering wheel, putting the car in drive. You're crazy. Something's wrong with you. You really believe that you're so entitled that the officer is going to let you slide? The officer sent her to her maker. That fast. Judgment came. That's how quick it was. And she took her baby with her. Ain't that something? That just goes to show she had no love for her own child. Because any woman that is pregnant in a circumstances like that would cooperate. Because they heard all the stories. They seen all the shootings. For crying out loud. When are we going to learn? But this goes back to the nature of the modern woman and how she just don't listen. She don't. But you're mad at me because I'm sharing my thoughts. But you're not mad at her for putting her own unborn child at risk. Ain't that something? You got countless women online right now crying over this situation. And they're not even looking at the circumstances. They're not even considering the fact that this woman didn't cooperate. All she had to do was cooperate. And she would have went home. She would have been here right now. So what could you ladies learn from this? Learn how to listen, learn how to cooperate. See, when I teach you ladies this truth and y'all don't want to listen, it's cool. You don't got to listen. Because I know eventually you're going to pay the price. I know eventually that judgment is going to come at your door and you're going to learn the hard way, just as TaKiya learned the hard way. Now that was swift judgment. But everybody's blaming the officer. I'm trying to figure this out. How? How can you blame the officer if the officer steps in front of your vehicle? That means we don't want you to go nowhere. So don't press on the gas. Don't do nothing slick. So as a citizen, when you see the officer in front of your vehicle, it should let you know you're not going nowhere. So step out the car. Cooperate. He got a gun pointed at you. But because these women, like TaKiya, have seen guns her whole life, because most likely there's a Pookie and Ray Ray somewhere. She's so accustomed to the barrel of a gun, she didn't care. She ain't seen no danger. And she proceeded to turn the car towards her right and step on the gas. Bad idea. That was a bad idea. And she was delivered into the shadow realm. Shout out to Sean James. That's his talking point. The shadow realm. Banished from existence. All because she didn't want to cooperate. And everybody's calling for the officer to get arrested and fired and all this other stuff. I believe he's on paid administrative leave or something along those lines. I'm not sure. Let me see. She was 21 years old. 21. 21 years of age. With child. What a shame. Shout out to Jay King for the membership and John Chi for the membership. So it's happy Friday, everyone. Please hit the like button. This guy, I guess is what you wanted to say. All right. Shout out to William for the $20 support. So they're saying that the police used gross misuse of power and authority against pregnant black women. This is what it says right here. Let me read it. It says, Ohio authorities on Friday released body cam footage showing a police officer fatally shooting TaKiya Young in her car in what her family denounced as a gross use of power and authority against a pregnant black woman. Gross use of power and authority. See, the truth of the matter is the modern BW, she rebels against authority because the parents are just like her. They don't want to cooperate. They don't want to cooperate with what just happened. They don't want to take accountability for what their daughter done. Imagine your daughter did not follow no instructions, got herself killed. And you're saying that the police used gross power and authority against a pregnant black mother. Now, number one, the officers didn't know she's pregnant. That's irrelevant. I don't care if she's pregnant. And you could get mad at me. I don't care if she's pregnant. Because as a woman that's with child, you are supposed to be concerned about you being pregnant. You, as a woman who is pregnant, carrying a child, not only supposed to be concerned about your own safety, but you're supposed to be thinking about the welfare of your own unborn child. You're supposed to be making good decisions, but as we always teach, they never make good decisions. They always make bad decisions. Decisions that cost their lives. But I'm the bad guy because I don't see anything wrong that the officers done. The officers actually didn't do anything wrong. Now, of course, they're going to go through their investigation. All of the protesters are going to come through, the family. They're going to hire that same black attorney that always shows up every time somebody dies. And they're going to go through the motions of doing this nonsense, trying to get justice for an individual that didn't follow no law instructions, no lawful orders, didn't want to comply, and now they're deleted and everybody's crying. But I'm the bad guy, as always. Yeah, Ben Crook. Yeah, Ben Crooked Crump. Yeah, they're going to send him in. They always send him in to do the dirty work. Anytime somebody died, you call on Crump, you know. Oh, boy. Here we go. Let's see. Mikey J says, another situation to rile up black people and watch them humiliate us another year. They never do this to, I guess he's saying Jewish folks. Well, first of all, Jewish folks follow instructions and they're not in the stores stealing clothing. They're not looting like so-called black people. I mean, if you just look at Instagram and TikTok, there are so many different videos of black folk running up in stores, looting. That's what we do. So own it. Our people are naturally evil by default because we rebel against the Most High. So this is not a case of they never do this to this group of people. That doesn't even make any sense. Our people deserve death because we're wicked. This is why the judgment of the Most High is upon us, because we're rebelling against him, number one. And this is why the transatlantic slave trade came in. This is why there is so much police brutality. This is why we're the first fired, last hired. This is why marriages in the black community is at an all-time low. This is why there are so many single mothers right now. This is why so many black men are in prison. This is why we're losing. Because we're a rebellious people. This is not about them trying to rile up black people. Black people are hypocrites when it comes to situations like this, because we're robbing, we're stealing, we're committing crimes, we're doing all sorts of things in the black community, and we don't stand up against it. We turn a blind eye to it. We listen to trap music every day and drill music every day that talks about killing, killing, killing. We talk about our women as being so-called HOEs. We treat them like HOEs, right? We have a bunch of kids out of wedlock. Nobody's married. We're dysfunctional, right? Why? Because we're rebelling against the Creator, the Most High Yah. So the curses is upon our people. And that's why we see what's happening here. The case of TaKiya Young is just another example of the curses. This is what happens when a person is rebellious. This is what happens when people are just not thinking rational. They're not making good decisions, and they have a lack of good judgment. If this young lady understood the circumstances and the severity of the issues, she would have complied with law enforcement and she would have still been here till this day. But no, she wanted to be defiant. She thought she was entitled. She figured, well, I'm a black woman. I'm pregnant. I'm wearing lashes. Nobody can touch me. I can do what I want. And this is how it is now. And she paid with her life. And now the family is frustrated. Family is crying. A lot of content creators is talking about it, siding with the BS. And it's just sad. Any content creator you see showing any sort of sympathy or any sort of, it's like if they're on TaKiya's side on this one, that content creator is pandering towards their viewers. In this situation, this young lady made the conscious decision to not follow orders and use her car, whether you thought she was or not. Once your car is in drive and an officer is in the front of it, that car becomes a weapon. You see what I'm saying? Once you use your car and it's in drive, it becomes a deadly weapon. And that's it. You know? She got judgment, man. That's what you call the Most High's judgment. That's an example of pure judgment right there. Because it was quick. Just like that. 1 minute you're here, next minute you're gone. And she got to blame herself for this one. Because if that was me, I already know my rights. I know I didn't do anything wrong. I know I didn't steal nothing. Ain't nothing in my car. So if I stole something and they had to search my car, there's nothing in there. Right? So now, if I know I didn't do anything and they're falsely accusing me, right? And they were to search my car and they go through all of those procedures and there's nothing there and I was falsely accused, then I would now have a lawsuit against the store for pointing me out, right? But see, again, the modern BW, she's not thinking clear. Because, okay, cool. It's inconvenience for the officers to stop you. It's embarrassing. Everybody's looking at you. But if you know you didn't do nothing, right? And the store accused you of theft and you know you didn't do nothing, and the officers came in and you're pregnant, all you had to do is cooperate with law enforcement, get out the car, right? I don't got nothing in my purse. I don't got nothing in my car. You know what I'm saying? Because now, under those circumstances, if there was a theft, they have probable cause. There's all sorts of situations that can go about with this case. So it don't make no sense you trying to rebel and argue and fight and then drive off, because that's what it looked like she was trying to do. Drive off. Your car's supposed to be off. Officers are talking to you. But no, she was about to drive off. That's why the officer got in the front, because they've been through this 1,000 times. So if you know you didn't do nothing, cooperate. Once you're done, sue the store. It's as simple as that. Hire an attorney. I'm stressed. I'm embarrassed. They lied on me. They falsely accused me. I didn't take nothing. Now you got a case against the store. Now you can get an easy bag. You can get Crump. You could get that Crump guy and let him handle the case. That's all she had to do. But no, she didn't want to do that. She wanted to drive off. She could have had an easy bag, y'all. That would have been an easy bag. That would have been an easy bag, man. Her car should have never moved. Don't y'all understand? When an officer is in front of your car and your car moved 1 inch, they could put a bullet in your head, bro. Because your car is now a weapon. The officer could say, I'm afraid for my life. How many times have we seen this happen? Y'all don't, like, people have not learned nothing throughout all these years. How many times have officers says, I was afraid for my life? I would be afraid for my life. If I'm in front of a car and you moving it and I got a gun in my hand, I'm afraid for my life. I'm gonna put a bullet in your head. That way I can stop you from driving. Because if I'm gonna get hurt, you going out. They're trained for this. When you see an officer step in front of your car, just know, if you move that car, he gonna kill you. How many times have we seen stories like this? But once again, because the modern BW is defiant and believe that nobody could hold her accountable, she got judged. And now everybody's crying. That's the thing that I'm like, why is everybody crying, fam? Let me see what else this story says right here. It says, Sean Walton, an attorney representing Young's family. So they got attorneys already. You could have got that attorney once the police officers fulfilled their investigation and realized you didn't get nothing. Then now you could have got a real attorney to sue the store and possibly the police department for conducting that situation that happened with you. You understand? Because they end up searching your vehicle, you're pregnant, you're stressed, you could have had a miscarriage, you could have had some sort of complications. You could have went to the hospital after the search. I mean, for crying out loud, fam, you ladies are just not smart. Right after that search, right after they search your vehicle, you went through all of that stuff, you could have just said, officers, I'm requesting an ambulance. I'm requesting an ambulance. I just don't feel right. Ambulance? Yes, I'm requesting. That way it's in the paperwork. That way you could give that to your attorneys. That way that can go along with your case of when you're suing the store and so on and so forth due to all the emotional stress and all of the stuff that you're dealing with during your pregnancy. I mean, you're just not smart. You're just not smart. You got to know how to use the system, fam. You got to know how to use the system to your benefit. So it says, Sean Walton, an attorney representing Young's family, said the video clearly shows that the August 24 shooting of 21-year-old woman was unjustified, and he called for the officer to be fired and charged immediately. Walton also criticized police for not releasing the video footage for more than a week after the shooting. TaKiya's family is heartbroken. Why? Why are you heartbroken? I understand that's your family. At the same time, she made a choice. She made a choice to rebel. She made a choice to not comply. She made a choice. It ain't like the officers just said, hey, pow, pow, pow. No. She made her first move. The officers react. For every action, there's a natural reaction. I don't see what the problem is. So they're saying that TaKiya's family is heartbroken. Walton said in an interview with the Associated Press, the video did nothing but confirm their fears that TaKiya was murdered unjustifiably. And it was just heartbreaking for them to see TaKiya having her life taken away under such ridiculous circumstances. I like the end of the sentence. Ridiculous circumstances. That's exactly what it was. Ridiculous. The circumstances was ridiculous because all she had to do is comply and step out of the car. If she didn't steal nothing, step out the car. What could go wrong if you didn't steal nothing? If I didn't steal nothing and I don't got no property on me, what could go wrong? There's nothing in my car. There's nothing in my purse. There's nothing on my person. What the officers are going to do? They got to let you go. Okay, we apologize. Wrong person. The store got it wrong. Now you bring the lawsuits. That's how white folk do it. You know how many lawsuits white folk file under circumstances like this? They do this all the time, and they get an easy bag. But black folk, they don't know how to do nothing. They just like to argue with police. Waste of time. You know what's going on. You know the curses of the Most High is there. You know the system don't even like us. Why? Why will you do something this dumb? I don't get it. Some people just don't value their life. That's the way I see it. Some people don't value their life, fam. Like I said, me personally, I don't even like cops. If you're an officer and you think you're such a good officer, that's your problem. But at the end of the day, me personally, I don't like cops. I don't. I've seen too many things happen, had a couple of bad experiences. But at the end of the day, I don't like cops. But under the circumstances, I don't see what they did that was wrong. I just don't. See, if you live in New York, I know you don't like cops. Because in New York, cops are crooked. They're dirty. You may have good cops where you at, but not in New York. New York cops are gang members. If you understand anything about the NYPD, they gang members. They're not police officers that are law, they fulfill and serving and protecting. They don't do that. Not in New York. The NYPD is a crooked gang organization. Their job is to kill black men and women, put them in prison, meet quotas. This is what they do. Give you tickets, pull you over, plant drugs, you name it. I mean, they just be profiling you every single day. They got illegal surveillance on you. This happens every single day. Anybody that's in the hood, you know what I'm talking about, right? It's a gang. Now, in your little town, you might have officers that might be friendly with the community. Not in New York, right? So that's why I don't like cops. I look at them as criminals on public streets. That's what they are. Cops, criminals on public streets. So it says that her situation was ridiculous circumstances. Yes, it was ridiculous circumstances because all she had to do is comply. I mean, why can't you ladies just comply with law enforcement? Like I said, fam, if I'm in the streets and I walk out of a store, there was a big robbery and cops are like, hey, I'm not going to be sitting there talking about it wasn't me, blah, 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 blah. I'm just going to stop, go through the process. I know I didn't do nothing wrong. Cool. Boom, boom, boom. If the cops violate my rights in any way, there's going to be a lawsuit. I'm a content creator. I'm gonna talk about this on YouTube. It's going to be one big mess for the NYPD. You know, it's going to be one big mess because not only will attorneys be involved, but I will be on social media spreading the word, and it's going to go viral. It's going to be one big mess for the police. But I'm not going to be acting up. And next minute, I'm going to be a story for other content creators to talk about. Look at Ringo. Wow, he should have stayed quiet. That's why he got shot. That's why he died. Come on. You got to be smart, man. Most women, man, they just think with their emotions and they end up getting in trouble. It says Young's death follows a troubling series of fatal shootings of black adults and children by Ohio police and numerous occurrences of police brutality against black people across the nation in recent years, events that have prompted widespread protest and demands for police reform. Do you see the BS? Now they're bringing up all of the history. Well, if we know the history as black folk, if we know that there have been countless shootings, police brutality, if we know this, if we understand the history of what goes on, why can't we just learn to comply with basic commands? Get out the car. Step out the car, ma'am. Step out the car. Okay, officer, I'm stepping out right now. Just know that I am a pregnant woman. So, don't do none of that funny stuff. I'm stepping out. I did not do anything wrong. What seems to be the problem? Well, this is the problem. Now, the reason why they want her to step out the car, y'all, is because she can flee. They don't want her to flee. So, for everybody's safety, turn off the car, step on out so we can talk. That's all we want to do. You're not arrested yet, but you're being detained. Step out the car. I didn't do nothing. It wasn't me, it was those other girls. Now, you just incriminated yourself even more. How do you know it was those other girls? Now we got to really talk to you now, because maybe you know those other girls. This is why they say you have the right to remain silent. That's another right. You don't have to speak. All you got to do is just stay quiet, step out the car, and just don't speak. Let them conduct their investigation and do what they're doing. So what they're going to do now is they're going to use the whole thing of her being pregnant to play with the emotions of people so that they can further want the heads of the officers that were involved. She was pregnant. You know what I'm saying? They killed a pregnant black woman. Doesn't matter if she was pregnant or not. That's her fault. How many times have we seen stuff like this of pregnant women getting killed? And every single time I see these stories, it's always these mothers-to-be who put their unborn children in harm's way. I've seen stories where women fled from the police with all of their kids in the car and they're pregnant and crash up. I've seen stories like this. BWs fleeing police with all their kids in the car. 100 miles per hour on the road, on the freeway. And then want somebody to feel sorry for them once they die. No. Listen, I do not feel sorry for this woman at all. I'm just here to report the news and make sense of a situation that a lot of people just don't want to listen to. Doesn't even make any sense. She should have been thinking about her child. Who cares if the cops step in front of the vehicle? See, that's the thing that a lot of unlearned people are saying. You said that cop stepped in front of the vehicle and stepped in front of the car. So? The car is not supposed to be moving. When an officer steps in front of your car, you have to have street smarts to recognize the game. That is now an opportunity for him to shoot you. I've seen this playbook method all the time. When an officer, listen, you might have a situation, right? And if there was a situation like this that happened, I believe it was in Manhattan, where you had a guy that had, I think he had a Ferrari. He had a Ferrari. I think it was a red Ferrari. Most of you probably seen this video on YouTube, right? He had a red Ferrari and a cop was giving him a ticket. Okay, the cop is a hater. The cop is jealous. He got a nice car, got money. But what the cop did is he's writing the ticket in front of the car and he put his foot by where the tire is. And he's just standing there leaning by the car. And the guy proceeded to drive the car and the cop banged the car like, yo, what are you doing? And the guy did it again. That's when the officer went and arrested him and took him out of his nice car, threw him on the floor, and put them hot cuffs on him. Why? Is the cop wrong for putting his foot by the car? Is the cop wrong for leaning on the car? No, not at all. You're wrong because you're using your car as a damn weapon. Imagine a cop is in front of your car with a loaded gun telling you to get out the car and you are not moving. You're asking to die. And it's not like the cop said, hey, you know, today I just want to kill this young lady. Because based on the story, these particular officers was already in the parking lot helping someone else get into their car that was locked out. So it's not like they just pulled up at 100% ready to go kill her. No, they were like, look, just step out the car. She ain't want to do that. So what do you expect? You know? What do you expect to happen? And see, a lot of you ladies, you would have did the same thing. You would have been combative, argumentative. You would have want to fight with the officer, and then you would have died. And I've seen this happen many times. Where's her husband? Oh, I forgot. She don't got no husband. She don't got no husband. She's 21, remember? 21, pregnant, no husband, no guidance. But you get mad at me for speaking this truth. Did she care about her unborn child? Not at all. A mother-to-be would be like, what? You want me to get out the car? Okay, cool. Let me get out the car, take my time, and you let the officer know that you're a pregnant woman, and that's about it. Let them continue with their investigation. They said that you stole something. You didn't steal anything. Okay, you didn't steal nothing? Well, the story is saying that you did this. Well, they should have surveillance, right? See, this is what I mean, how that woman wasn't smart at all. Because if she stole something, it would be on the security camera. Look at the camera footage if I stole something. All she had to do is get out the car, go with the officers to the establishment, let them look at the tapes. Look at the tapes. She didn't steal anything. Sorry, ma'am. Our apologies. The store basically said that you did it. We're just doing our job to investigate the circumstance. If you feel some type of way, you feel like your rights was violated, cool. You get that attorney, you sue the store, and you do what you got to do. That's exactly what smart people would do. Intelligent people would do that. You know? And it's crazy. Every other month, there's a story just like this. Every other month. Jacqueline said, a lot of Chicago PD are resigning and packing up to move to other states because of this same BS. And I don't blame them for wanting to do that. I don't blame them for wanting to go to another state or whatever the case is, because it gets to the point where you're trying to do your job and you're constantly being harassed and told that you're killing people and you're harassing people. And don't get me wrong, you got officers that do that. Like I said, here in New York, these officers out here are gang members and they're criminals. And they really act just like the thugs. I mean, when you really think about it, New York police act just like the thugs in the streets. The same thing. Same thing. The same way the street dude act, the police act with a gun. So as a smart man, as a smart black man, I don't put myself in situations where I have interactions with police. My interactions happened when I was in my late teens, and I wasn't even doing anything. You know, getting illegally searched. You know, you standing at the corner, cops pull up, stupid stuff. But then I've witnessed other horror stories of other people. And it made me realize that NYPD is trash. They're literally a gang. And they all work with one another to cover up brutality, planting drugs, you name it. I've seen officers plant drugs on friends back in the day. With my own eyes, I've seen this. I remember this one time we had a buddy and he had on shorts that had on no pockets. No pockets now. We playing basketball. His shorts have no pockets. Officers pull up, search everybody. They searching him. Oh, we found drugs. How you found drugs on him? We playing basketball, all this movement, but you found drugs in his pocket. He don't got no pockets. He was like, I don't got no pockets. What do you mean you found drugs in my pockets? I don't got no pockets. Everybody's like, yo, you planted that, yo. You planted that. Nah, fam, you planted that. Other old people was vouching for us. Everybody, the whole community was there. Officers packed up and left. They didn't even do nothing. Where the drugs go? I thought you found drugs. I thought y'all found drugs. Dude didn't have no pockets. There's no pockets on his shorts. He said, I just found drugs in your pockets. Look. And the other officer's like, yeah. He was like, I don't got no pockets. What are you talking about? Everybody's like, yo, you planted that drugs, yo. Everybody came to the defense of us. From that day, I knew that the NYPD was dirty. Because I couldn't believe it. I seen it with my own eyes. And if you would have saw the bag with the drugs in it, there's no possible way that anybody can have that in a pocket that don't even exist. While we playing basketball, moving and jumping and doing all of this stuff, there's no way that would have fell out of his damn shorts. But this is what they do. You know? Communication is only key under certain circumstances. You could be the best communicator and things can still go south. You know? Things can still go south. And salute to all the mods. See V-Dub in the building. Tracy. Show. I thought I seen Rebel. Yeah, Rebel for Almighty. Right? You can be the best communicator and things still go south. I know how to communicate very well, but things can still go south. Because sometimes when you're communicating very well and you show yourself to be smart, an officer will feel some type of way because you know your rights and you're not dumb. And they'll be like, oh, so you think you smart? This is what they do. They'll tell you stuff like that. So you think you smarter than me? And I'm the type that says, yes, I am. And they get more mad. So you can communicate very well and it still escalate a situation because, like I said, in New York City, officers are trained not to de-escalate. They always escalate situations to make it go to the next level because they figure that as a black person, you're going to react a certain way so that they can make the arrest. This is what they do. They're like under obligation to make a certain amount of arrests and meet quotas in New York. They're trained that they have to give out a certain amount of tickets. So the system is rigged. That's why I don't trust officers in New York. They're all corrupt. All. There is no good officer in New York. None. All of them are corrupted. Right? So under this situation here, although the officer got in front of the car, you cannot look at that as, oh, he did something wrong by getting in front of the car. No, him getting in front of the car is to make her understand that she needed to stop the car and get out. That's all she had to do. And she would have been alive right now. All she had to do is comply. You know? All she had to do is comply. And she would have been alive, and she would have been able to bring forth her child. But she didn't love her child. She didn't care about her child. And she put her own child in danger. That's what she did. She put her child in danger because of her pride. And now her family have to attend a funeral. So what are modern BWs to learn from these circumstances? Learn how to follow instructions, because it will cost you your life. And the same way she didn't want to follow those orders is the same way most of you women don't want to follow the scriptures. The Most High commands you to follow his laws, statutes, and commandments. But you don't want to do that. You figure you can go live your best life, do what you want to do. Don't wait till when judgment comes before you decide that you want to do what the Most High is instructing you to do. Because what you see happen to TaKiya was judgment. Swift. She was made an example of. That was judgment. Because she probably been rebellious for a long time. She probably done this a lot. And it finally caught up. And it was her choice. It's not like the officer did anything. You turn your wheel and you drive into the cop. You asked for it. You asked for it. I don't understand. So what exactly, which store, because I don't know what store she was at. I don't know if it was a clothing store. Someone in the chat said something about a liquor store. Was she at a clothing store or a liquor store? Because I don't see how could you steal anything at a liquor store. Normally at the liquor store, there's glass all around. I don't see how could you steal anything. She was at Kroger's. Okay. So it was Kroger's. All she had to do is comply. All she had to do is comply. I don't see why people steal. I don't understand. Why would you be doing that, knowing that you're going to get caught? And you know what happens? Like with all of these recent looting that has been going on with black folk, if you notice, you don't see Jewish people doing that. You don't see white people doing that. You don't see them doing that. You only see us doing that. It's embarrassing. And yet we cry foul play when people die, when police kill them. I don't feel sorry for none of these people, man. They keep putting themselves in harm's way. And a lot of times all of the looting that is going on is because the system don't have severe penalties for people that do that. I'm hearing that there is a law or whatever the case is that says if a person steals up to a certain amount of money, it's like they get a slap on the wrist. Nah, they need to get stiff sentences for stuff like that. And it'll stop it in its tracks. I don't understand that, man. Like, I'm going to be doing a video I'll probably do that video probably tomorrow or something. I had a situation with eBay. Very interesting situation. Right? I purchased some cables. I think it's like a set of 5-pin cables. Right? The 5-pin cables cost about $5 for a pack. So I bought 2. $5 and change. It came up to about $12. So I waited about a week. Finally get delivered, right? But I never got it. But the tracking number says that it was delivered. The tracking number says it was delivered. It says it was left in your mailbox, or it was left by your door. But I never got nothing. Nothing was there. So I contact the seller. Says, hey, made this purchase. It says it was delivered, but I never got it. The seller wrote me back and says, I don't believe your story. I don't believe that. You use this shipping method. It says that it was delivered. So, you know, and I'm looking at the situation like $12. So I'm going to put that seller on blast on social media so that other people don't purchase anything from that seller on eBay. And I'll be doing that story probably tomorrow or somewhere next week. $12. Why would I, content creator, order something from eBay, let it get delivered, and make up a fucking story for $12? I'm telling you, it's amazing how some companies would destroy their business over $12. And I've been an eBay member since 2015. Always shopping. Because it's like they accusing you of stealing. How many of you, with just a show of a 1, just so I can prove my point, ladies and gentlemen, how many of you with a show of a 1 have ever ordered anything from eBay or Amazon? You check your tracking, it says it was delivered, but you never got it. Put a 1 in the chat if that happened to you. You see the ones? Because this is common. This happened to me so many times. It mainly happens with Amazon. Amazon is notorious for leaving your packages at other people's residence, leaving your packages at other addresses, and you're on your end, it says it was delivered. You know how many times, because now with Amazon, right, they got this thing that you could check your tracking, right? And they put a photo. So it said delivered, and it had a photo. I'm like, that's not my place. That's not my place. I don't know where that place is, but it says it was delivered. This is what they do. So to see a situation where I'm being accused as a liar over $12, fam. $12. You know how much my recording studio, do you know how much? Oh my goodness, bro. $12? $12. So I wrote the seller back and I told him, I said, yo, you know I'm going to put you on social media, right? I said, I'm going to put you on social media. I'm going to put it on blast, right? Now, eBay have something like some sort of money back guarantee, something along those lines. But they said I got to contact them, I guess, on the 6th. I guess after you contact the seller. If the seller's not going to rectify the situation, then I guess you go through eBay channels, and I guess they'll probably most likely give you a refund. $12. Absolutely ridiculous. Now, isn't that petty? Well, that's the same thing like the death of TaKiya Young. Petty. Her life is so valuable, and all she had to do is comply. Get out the car. Nah, I'm not getting out. I'm not getting out. I'm black. Knowing all the people that got killed, a gun is pointing at you and you pregnant and you don't give a fuck about your unborn child? Fam, you signed up for that one. There's no other way around that. You signed up. Yeah, eBay is good at resolving the cases, but the sellers, man, the sellers are greedy. The sellers be greedy for $1. And this is why I'm never doing business with that seller again. $12. It's sad. I'm like, bro, I'm not even trying to brag, but yo, at the end of the day, man, these sellers on eBay ought to be thankful for people like me doing business with them. That person just ruined multiple dollars of business that could have been done. Because I actually needed more stuff, but I'm going to go on Amazon and look for those items. I actually already done put an order in to get the same products that I was looking for. I figured that on eBay, they had, you know, a different variety. They had actually a cable that was the same color code as the one that I needed. So I had to order it from Amazon. Amazon don't have the same color coded, but you can still use the cable. You just got to know where to put the wires, and you got to mark the wire so that in case you took the product in for servicing and somebody else is servicing it, you have the color coding to let the engineer or the technician know this cable is for this cable is for that, so that nobody don't get in trouble or get electrocuted or whatever the case is. You know? I shop at Amazon every day. Every single day. Even though they do dirt. But I the way I do it now is I buy what I need from Amazon and I let them ship it to one of those Amazon hubs. That's how I do it now. Like if I know it's something expensive, something that costs a lot, I let them ship it to an Amazon hub. That way I can go pick it up. Because when it's shipped to an Amazon hub, the worker have to do it. And I noticed like now with Amazon workers, you got to sign on a phone and they take pictures now. So I guess they probably upgraded their system because they've been literally losing a lot of packages, fam. Literally losing a lot of packages. It's crazy. Something happened crazy the other night, fam. This is a true story. I got the receipts. I got the photos. I got the videos. I might post it, fam. Uber Eats knocked my door, fam. Spanish guy. Spanish guy knocks my door. He had food in his hand from Taco Bell, it looked like. Taco Bell, I believe it is. And I'm telling him that the food is not for me. Right? But it's like he don't understand or whatever the case is. So about 10 minutes pass. I said, okay, cool. I see him leave. I go open my door. The food is sitting there by the front of the door. Somebody bought a bunch of drinks, a big bag full of Taco Bell, all of that stuff. It's all there. I just closed back in my door. I'm telling you, this is what happens. Somebody's food that they paid for was delivered to my door. And they left it on the floor. And I'm like, now, if I was one of them grimy ninjas, I would have been like, got me some free food. I would never eat anything that was delivered that wasn't mine. I would never do that. That is disgusting because somebody could be lining you up to kill you by way of food. And because of your thirst, you end up getting killed. So I would never do that. Literally, this is what they did, fam. They literally left the food there. I might post a video. I might just post a video, fam, because it was amazing. I couldn't believe it. They literally left the food, fam. And I got up in the morning and the bag was still there. Bag was still there, fam. I know they had to be pissed because it was like around 1, 2 in the morning. So I'm like, damn, bro. That's crazy. They most likely had to get their money back, probably had to reorder. But this is what I'm saying. A lot of times you order things and it gets shipped to somebody else. I don't understand how you order from Uber Eats and your order go to somebody else. I don't understand that. I really don't understand it. And that's not the first time this happened. That's not the first time this happened, fam. This happened multiple times. I don't know what it is. It seems like they keep delivering by me. You know how many times Uber Eats delivered food to me that I never ordered? And it ended up sitting outside? Multiple times, fam. I don't know what it is, but they keep sending these things to me. It's crazy. You know? But anyway, y'all, I'm gonna get up on out of here. I might talk about this more. I would show the footage, but you know how it is on YouTube. I'm smart. So I'm not gonna post the video. I have the full video, but I'm not gonna post all of that because YouTube have their terms of service and all of that other stuff. And you know how that go. That's why I just talk about it. See, when you just talk about it, it is what it is. I'm just sharing my thoughts. But the way the situation happened, she did this to herself. She sacrificed herself and her baby. She thought that she was going to get away. She thought that she was going to do whatever. Now, the question I want to know is, did she have anything in her car? Did she really steal from the store? That's what I want to know. Did she steal anything? Did they investigate to prove whether or not she had anything in her car? Did they find the other women who stole? Because some women were up in there stealing, probably looting and running out the store. And they probably saw her. Maybe she was with them and she ran out the store. Hey, you never know. It's probably on camera, but hey, it is what it is. I'm gonna get up on out of here. If you supported the stream via Cash App, I'll shout you out in the next stream. I don't know where my phone is right now. Somewhere around. But we're gonna deal with this. We're gonna continue this topic if more information come out. And I might show the footage and I might not. It depends if I can clean it up a little bit or find a news outlet that shared the story, because the news outlet normally know what to show and what not to show. So, because I got the full video where he pulled the trigger and you hear the gun go off. You know, that right there would be considered graphic to show, even though you don't see, like, you know, you don't see it, but you hear it. So it's like, it's just not good for social media, I guess. Let me see. Yeah, so that's about it. You said she didn't have anything in her car. That makes it even worse. Imagine that, fam. Tracy just said she didn't have anything in her car. Imagine not having nothing in your car and you sacrifice yourself and your unborn child for what? That's the entitlement, man. That is how stubborn a lot of these women are, fam. All she had to do is comply. Yeah, guilty people don't run. My thing is this. This is what I'm assuming. The people in the store pointed her out, right? I'm thinking maybe she knew the other women that were stealing allegedly and was some sort of getaway driver waiting for them. Because if she's in the parking lot and she didn't have anything in the car, what is she doing there? What is she doing there? If she didn't shop, if she didn't do business, what exactly is she doing there? Just sitting down? Like, what is she doing there? She could very well be the getaway driver, and the girls probably ran the other way to avoid getting her in trouble. But the people in the store saw her too. Even though she don't have nothing, they probably was like, she was with her. We got it on camera. You never know. I want to see camera footage. That's what I want to know. Even if she have a child in the car, it doesn't make the cops dumber. You sound like somebody that's in agreement with that the cops did dirty. She did have a child in the car. She was pregnant. The one who was dumb was the woman. Because if she knows she's pregnant, she should cooperate. That's what's dumb. And see, this is the problem. Everybody keep focusing on the cops being dumb and all this other stuff, but nobody is questioning the woman's behavior. And that's the problem in this culture. Women are allowed to just act any old way and disrespect law enforcement, not comply, be rebellious, and get away with it. No consequences. Well, there were consequences here. She got judged, fam. Anybody claiming that the cops are wrong are in denial and the kind of person that condone the BS that women do. She caused her own death by putting that car in drive. That car was supposed to be off. Officers are talking to you, telling you to get out the car. You moving that car mean you guilty. In my humble opinion, TaKiya Young was guilty. Right? Absolutely crazy. Let's see. D Sales says she's 21. 21-year-olds make mistakes. Mistakes? That's not a mistake. That's a choice. See, this is another problem with the Black community. Now, notice this, fam. I was about to leave, shut down the stream. This person said that she's 21. She's a grown-ass fucking woman. What are you talking about, mistakes? She's not no damn child. What are you talking about? 21-year-olds make mistakes. Do you see? Do you see, people? This is why she's gone. Do you see how the person is justifying their actions as a mistake? "21-year-olds make mistakes." That's not a mistake. An officer tell you, get the fuck out the car, and you put the car in drive and start to move the car towards the officer. That's not a mistake. You're 21 years old. You understood how to get pregnant. Was that a mistake? Was the pregnancy a mistake? Because it seemed like anytime modern BWs do dumb stuff, rather than people hold them accountable, they pamper them and baby them and say, "Oh, it was a mistake." 21-year-olds do them. They have mistakes. They make mistakes. So if you're 21, it's a mistake. So what about if you're 31? What about if you're 41? There's no excuse for if you're 41, but you make excuses if you're 21. See, this is the problem. Everybody keep babying these women. But if it's a 21-year-old man, nobody would say he made a mistake. So let me get this straight. 21-year-old man got with your 14-year-old daughter and got her pregnant. And he's on the stand and he's like, "Look, Your Honor, I made a mistake. You're the mother. Are you going to accept the fact that he made a mistake?" Your Honor, I made a mistake and I got the 14-year-old pregnant. I made a mistake. Mom, could you forgive me? I made a mistake. Are you, and I'm talking to the person, D. Sale, are you going to consider that man's testimony as a mistake? Or are you going to say, no, that was not a mistake. You made a choice. This is why this young lady is dead, y'all. Based on what we saw in the chat, someone said that 21-year-olds make mistakes too. Wow, no accountability whatsoever. This is what women do. 21, you grown. You ain't no kid. You ain't no. If you 15, you're of age. You know what the hell you're doing. You know what you're doing. I don't want to hear nothing about no mistakes. You ain't making no mistakes. You know? It ain't make no sense. Mistake. Do you see how they pamper that up? Mistake. She made a mistake, y'all. She ain't make no damn mistake, fam. She made a choice. She put her own baby at risk. That's sad. She would have done the same dumb thing at 31 because she don't have no home training. She would have done the same thing at 41 because she has no home training. Has nothing to do with age. Has nothing to do with mistakes. She made a choice. Everything in life is a choice. Ain't no mistakes. A mistake, and I use this all the time as an example. A mistake is I'm using a 1989 rotary dial phone, and I dial 1 rather than 2. I made a mistake. I put my finger the wrong place and I dialed the wrong number. That's a mistake. I didn't mean to dial that number. I made a mistake. But when you make the choice, when a cop has a loaded gun pointed at you, and your baby is inside of you, and that gun is pointed at your face, and you're looking at the gun, and the officer on the left is telling you step out the car, the officer in front of you is saying step out the car, and you're not doing that, that's not a mistake. That's a choice. So she made the choice to drive into the officer, whether she did it slowly or whatever the case is. She put her life in danger. That's what happened. People love babying grown folk. That's the problem. Miss G said, people need to stop babying grown folk. That's the problem right there. Fam, I remember when I turned 13. Fam. Nobody saw me as some little kid at 13, man. They looked at me as a grown man. It's like I was held accountable for everything. I ain't get no pass. None. Oh, he's just 13. You know what I'm saying? He's a kid. Nah. Wasn't treated like no kid, fam. They treated us like men. Grown men. Well, they ain't baby us, man. So when I look at all of this babying at 21 years old, I'm like, listen. She was woman enough to go out there and get pregnant. Was that a mistake? Because I can guarantee you she got pregnant by a Pookie and a Ray Ray. Most likely don't know who the baby daddy is. Right? And you could get mad because that's what women do. They do this. 21, not married, pregnant out of wedlock. But you want to tell me that she made a mistake. Okay, whatever you say. I'm not giving her no pass, fam. None whatsoever. I blame her for her own issues. And the mom and the dad or whoever involved, They need to just stop playing games with all these attorneys trying to get some extra money. They're going to soon start the GoFundMe, so you can expect the GoFundMe to come in, because that's what always happens. The GoFundMe end up coming up. You know, next thing you're going to see is the GoFundMe. They always do that. Mistakes. Ain't no mistakes when it comes to officers giving you a command and you don't follow it. That's not a mistake. Not a mistake at all. A mistake is you're taking an exam and the answers are from A to D, A, B, C, D. You knew the answer was C, but you made a mistake and marked D. That's what you did. And you look back over the test and you just totally forgot about it, and you end up failing the test. And then when you look back, they said, oh, you marked this as D rather than C. Oh, man. How did I miss? You made a mistake. But if you're in bed as a woman with a man, you didn't make no mistake. How could you make a mistake? Your clothes is off. You took your clothes off, right? You had to take off everything, right? You took off your drawers, your underwear, your panty, whatever the case is. So you didn't make a mistake. You made a choice. Oh, he didn't have on a condom? Oh, you got pregnant, right? Oh, that's not a mistake. You knew exactly what was going to happen. How are you going to tell me you got pregnant by mistake? That means that you let the man raw dog you. You knew the consequences. How is that a mistake? It's not no damn mistake. You know? Absolutely crazy. They always do that. They always do that. Caramel says, leave Ringo's daughters out of this show. Respect. They always do that. They love to do that type of stuff. That's where they start to get disrespectful. How many times have I told you guys and you ladies in the chat that if my daughters decide to go out there and be a fucking hoe, right, and get pregnant out of wedlock, that they on their fucking own? Put a 1 in the chat if I've done said that 1,000 times. Because D-Cell says, so would you say this about your own daughter too? Trying to get personal. I already spoke about these type of issues 1,000 times. As a father, my job is to guide my children. If they become rebellious and they don't want to listen, they can go to hell. You see that? Very clear. If my daughters decide to go outside and become 304s, get pregnant out of wedlock, do all of this dumb stuff, they on their own. Has nothing to do with me. Because if I give them the proper instructions and they want to go out there and live for the devil, that's their problem. Has nothing to do with me. I have no respect of persons. So if you think for 1 minute that your comment is somehow going to make me favor my daughters more than this woman, sadly mistaken. I don't show no respect of persons. Everybody get equal treatment. If my daughters go out there in a car and acting a fool and get gunned down by the fucking cops, that's their problem. You know why? They don't want to comply. They got judged by the Most High. That's how you do it. And see, this is the problem, ladies and gentlemen. People don't understand how life works. People don't understand. They think that I'm just saying this because it's this woman here. No, I say this to every woman. I teach on my channel all the time, and I'm constantly telling women, get their life right. And I always say, all these women out here getting pregnant out of wedlock, all of these 304s, acting the fool in the streets, I always talk about these issues, and I always use my children as examples. I mean, just look at what's going on with Boosie. We're going to talk about him. We're going to talk about him in another video. I might come back on later to talk about the Boosie situation. Everybody's getting upset. They talking all this crap about Boosie this, Boosie that, you know, all this negative stuff. We're going to talk about that situation later on. Because a lot of people don't understand what rebellion is. And these youngins are out here rebelling against their fathers, their mothers, and they're committing crimes, and they're going to be put to death. The Bible says this. The Bible talks about this. Honor thy mother and thy father, that thy days may be long upon the earth. You know? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get something to eat, and then I'm going to come back with another one. We're going to be talking about the Boosie situation. All right? Share our commentary about that. You know? And it's really with all of these kids that was born in the 2000s, man. It's like they wilding out. They really, really rebellious, fam. Very entitled. They believe that they're supposed to get everything, and they're spoiled rotten. They believe they're entitled to everything. You can't tell them no. They get upset. Very ungrateful. And by the way, I never listen to a Boosie track. I never, ever listen to a song by Boosie until he released that Ungrateful. And I actually like the Ungrateful track that he put out. That's my first time ever listening to that man. I have never, ever turned on a Boosie track. Ever. Until I heard that song right there. Because people were like, yo, Boosie made this song, yo, about the situation. I tuned in. I was like, oh, snap. I actually like this song. I had the song on rotation. I actually like the song. Never heard nothing from the dude. But, because I never even, listen, no disrespect to Boosie, but I never even known that he was a rapper. I thought that he was just a guy that's on social media because I just see him talking all the time. He's always getting stopped by police. He's always being outspoken about different issues. I just saw him as a social media influencer. I didn't know the dude was actually a rapper. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect to him, but when I heard the song, like, oh snap, dude went in. Talked about the baby mama, talked about his daughter, talked about people being ungrateful. He showed examples throughout the video. He gave the dude the $40. Dude was like, that's it? Just $40? You ungrateful? Like, I just gave you $40. You crying? Be thankful. And what I got from the video is that you can be giving people everything, man. You can help your family, and they still turn against you, man. Very ungrateful. The song is a 10 in my book. That song was official. He did his thing. He definitely did his thing with that song. And I can understand what he's dealing with. Like I said, we're going to talk about it. We're going to break down the video. We're going to break down what his daughter had to say. We're going to break it all down. You know? Somebody said he took the AMG away. I don't know what is that. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what is an AMG. Let me see. Oh, you're talking about the car. Yeah, I know that already. He said it in the song. Obviously, I would know that. Right? So we're going to be back later on, right? Y'all be safe out there. Peace and blessings to the mods, chat, everybody. Again, if you support it via Cash App, I'll shout you out in the next stream. I don't know where my phone is. It's somewhere around. I don't know where it is. Right? I'll shout you out in the next stream. So y'all be safe out there. Peace and blessings to everybody. We'll be back later to talk about the situation with Boosie and see what we can make of that situation. You know, it is what it is. It's a lot of topics I got to talk about, man. It's just that I'm mad busy right now. It's a lot of stuff, but I'm gonna get back on track with my schedule. Oh, shout out! Did I shout out Rollo? I'm not sure if I shouted out. Shout out to Rollo for the $5 support. I didn't even see the comment. Rollo said, ladies not ever ladies, lady for a friend, your friend. Secondly, Ringo, your spider senses may be on because she may be the getaway driver while them chicks, I guess they run away. That's what I'm thinking. Because what was she there for? Do she have a receipt that shows she made a purchase from the store or any local store that's nearby that can be her alibi that she wasn't there? I wasn't at that store. Or I got a receipt that says I purchased this. I didn't steal anything. There's nothing in my car. I didn't do anything. So what's going on? And also, if they got street surveillance, it should be able to show. If it was a parking lot, because they were in a parking lot, it should be able to show if she came there with those other girls. So they need to really investigate this story even more to find out what's going on, because if it comes out that she dropped the girls to the store, then that means she lied. That means she was a part of it. She was the getaway driver and got karma for her actions. But it's just sad to see that she lost her life and didn't have anything in the car based on what Tracy said. I don't know. I don't have no sources that can confirm that. But Tracy said that she didn't have nothing in her car. Right? When a gun is being pointed at you, you don't drive your car. You turn the car off. Take the key out. Turn the car off. Come on, man. How do y'all don't know that? How you don't know that as a black man and black woman? When you're stopped by the police and they're talking to you, turn your car the fuck off. Turn it off. It shouldn't be running. You're making the cops nervous. Come on. You don't know that? You don't know that as a grown adult. But the parents are saying the cops is wrong. But nobody's talking about the daughter. Anyway, y'all. Peace and blessings to everybody in the chat. It is what it is. Honor thy mother and thy father, that thy days may be long upon the earth. Call up your mom, tell them that you love them. Call up your dad, tell him that you got much respect for him. And you admire him for the man that he has been in your life, teaching you the ropes. And pay them a visit. It's always good to do that. You know? So that being said, we're going to get up on out of here. Do what we got to do. You said you sent some clips. A lot of people sent me clips. I'll check out what you sent. Maybe you sent me something different. But a lot of people sent me different information of whatnot about the situation. But let me see. When you coming back? When I come back when I'm ready. I don't give times. Let me see. Tracy, could you pack up D Sales 2011? Could you just pack that person up, please? Just pack that person up real quick. Some people just ask to be packed up. So I was going to pack the person up earlier. I thought that the mods would have did that, but just pack that person up real quick. Get them on out of here. sucks. Like, people be trying to say little sarcastic comments to get a reaction out of you and whatnot. Just pack them up, get them out of here. Anyway, y'all, we're gonna be back on later. We're gonna talk about the Boosie situation and do what we got to do. So look out for that. And that's about it. If there's anything you can learn from this, is if you know you didn't do nothing, if you know you innocent, then comply with the commands that an officer has given you, as long as it's within reason. Just turn the car off, step out, keep your hands on the steering wheel, let them see what's going on. You know, turn on the damn light in your car, let them see you. You know what I mean? Be smart. Like, some people just don't have no brain cells, bro. Like, I don't get it. You know. So anyway, y'all, rate, comment, and subscribe. Ringo TV Reactions. Best reactionary channel on YouTube. We'll catch you in the next one. I'm out, fam. Peace and blessings to the mods, Tracy, Show, V-Dub Man, Rebel for Almighty. Peace and blessings to everybody. We out. Peace.
If you like our content, consider supporting via Cash App at $Ringo TV Raw. Become a patron on patreon.com for exclusive video content not shown on YouTube. You could also support through PayPal at paypal.me/Ringo TV Raw. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the bell to be notified of new content. Follow me on Instagram at Ringo TV Raw.
This is Ringo TV Reactions, the only channel on YouTube bringing you the truth 100% raw and uncut.